So, I said I might review another video, review, and then I wasn't going to because a friend called and he's like, oh hey, let's watch a movie marathon. I was like, okay, cool, I'll watch a movie marathon. What movie do you want to watch? He goes, well, I just bought the third Transformers movie and I thought we could watch them all in a marathon. So I figured I'd do a quick little review of those movies and explain why they suck. So, you took a movie series, you took a comic book line and a TV show that was about war, emotions, the damage that war causes, and you gave that to a man who is best explained by fart jokes, cleavage, and explosions. This man is Michael Bay. There's nothing to say about that guy. He's just a terrible human being. So, the first movie. Now, I'm just gonna go over the plot and go over the problems with each of the movies after I go over the plot for the movie. First movie. The plot starts out like this. Sam Witwicky wakes up one day, he's like in class, and that's where you gain your exposition on, who he is, who his grandfather was. He gets his car, he enters the love interest, sees the car transform, he calls cops think he's on drugs. Sector 7 comes in, takes him away for a cross-country road trip. They go to the Hoover Dam, and I think they fight in Vegas? I'm not sure, because it never really says where they go to fight after that scene. And that's the plot of the first movie. I explained it right there. So the problem with this movie was it was dumbed down, filled with nothing but cleavage, fart jokes, and explosions. A la Michael Bay. And they took a movie that, again, should have been really mature, which a PG-13 Transformers movie should have been about the emotional tragedy of war, the harsh realities of it. That's what a PG-13 Transformers movie should be. And they filled it with immature crap. What? That's how, that's how that first movie worked. The problems were, of course, the fact that Michael Bay directed it and he wrote the script. Well, at least he had a very big hand in writing the script. So I don't know, maybe the original scriptwriter tried to make an actual story out of it, but he kind of failed. But what happens is he spent too much time focusing on the human relationships. Like, the humans are nice. They're side characters, not supposed to be main characters. That's not how a Transformer movie works. Well, that's what he did, and basically, the entire movie was about Sam Witwicky, trying to get laid. Within a fight that happened to have explosions in the end. That is the plot of the first movie. Sorry, I had an itch there. Then the second movie starts out with Sam going off to college. Then Megatron getting revived. Optimus dies in a fight. Sam goes and has to find an ancient Cybertronian dagger that can bring him back to life. He then accidentally brings back to life Jetfire. Well, he doesn't accidentally, he does it. But then he sees the Decepticon and freaks out and finds out that Jetfire turned. I'll talk about this later. And that's what happened. And Optimus comes back. Jetfire, for some reason, sacrifices himself to Optimus. So Optimus gets this cool, like, battle armor, which I don't see why he needed it. I mean, Transformers can combine without one turning into battle armor. Bruticus is proof of that, tidal wave, and, you know, Megatron coming together in Armada, that was proof of that. And so, that was the second movie. That was it. There was the fight with explosions. Again, main problem, focused too much on the humans. Second problem, which is a very close contender to the first, it was boring. You took something that could have been amazingly great, and you turned it into crap. You made it boring by shoving exposition down our throats, and it just became so boring to the point that at the end of the movie, a lot of people were sitting there going, I don't care if Optimus dies, or like if he stays dead, I just want to leave. Because that's how boring it got. Another problem was what they did to Jetfire. Jetfire in the original series was a Decepticon, and he changed sides. Now, they did something good with his character here, okay? They made him this old character who was alive before Optimus was. And, well, technically, Optimus was alive, but he never met him. And he was in stasis, and that was a good move. That was a brilliant idea. And it would have been cool to see this old, battle-hardened warrior who changed sides. They made him a cranky old coot. There's nothing I can say about that. Absolutely nothing. Except it tarnishes the name of the character. Another big problem we had was the fact that Optimus kind of just sheds the battle armor at the end, which I think was kind of disrespectful to Jetfire. And of course, another big problem was the toilet humor, and the cleavage. That was the majority of the movie, was toilet humor and cleavage. And the third film, Michaela's gone. Sam has a new girlfriend who's British. I don't know how that works out, but apparently it does, because apparently I think Mike was trying to class it up, so he fired Megan Fox and brought in the British chick, did not class it up. So Sam wants to be a hero again. He doesn't like being forgotten, which made no sense to me. Then he tried to then they go to the Autobots go to the moon. They see that they find his old Cybertronian ship. They bring it back. They find an old Cybertronian on there, an Autobot named Sentinel Prime, who was Optimus Prime's mentor. They bring him back. They bring him back with the cool dagger that should have been so interesting last time, but no, it wasn't. And then they gave it to it. And then, so they're sitting there and they're going, yeah. Okay, I'm liking this. It was better than Nimoy. That was a good choice, because Leonard Nimoy is, of course, awesome. And then they made a lot of meta jokes by just having a lot of like Leonard Nimoy quotes in there, and that kind of ruined them. But I'll get onto that later. And so they turns out that Sentinel Prime's evils side with the Decepticons. They try to bring Cybertron to Earth so that they can use the humans as slaves to rebuild it. Their demands are that the Autobots leave, so the Autobots get into a spaceship flies up, they blow up the spaceship, then they leave, then they come back, and so Optimus shows up, he was never really dead, it's like, we did this so that you would understand Decepticons cannot be reasoned with. They will always deceive you. So they're going, they are called Decepticons. Nobody thought that they wouldn't try to deceive us. I guess deception, which is what's in their name, just take out the C, was out of there. You didn't notice this? And then the Autobots win. End of story. Problems, again. Problems, they spent too much time focusing on the human characters. More cleavage, more fart jokes, more explosions. And it just wasn't that good at the end. Yeah, like the final battle, that almost worked. The Decepticons had air superiority, and they somehow lost. Another flaw with Decepticons' plans, Cybertron has no atmosphere. The humans would have just instantly died if they tried to work there, so they really couldn't have done anything. So that was there. And then, of course, there was the too many meta jokes, as I said earlier, like, instead of saying, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. That, no. I love Star Trek, I do, but you can't bring that into a Transformers movie, because that was just a meta joke, it was unneeded. It sounded cool, but it was still unneeded. I found it distracting. Then after that, and then, well, that was that. That was that. So, a big problem that all the movies had was that I was able to describe the entire plot in about 13 minutes. And point out the flaws with the plot. Now, I think the movie would have worked out a lot better if Hans Zimmer was the one directing them. Because, well, let's look at what he's done. The Batman trilogy, Watchmen, Amazing Spider-Man. Those are amazing movies. They get all the story across, they get all the mature themes across, they don't rely on fart jokes, they don't rely on cleavage, they rely on legitimate storytelling to keep you engrossed. And that's what that was. And in fact, I want to bring something up. When I went to go see The Amazing Spider-Man, I saw these two guys sitting there going, think this would be funny like the Transformer movies? And they're sitting there, and they were idiots, you could tell that. And because they went in there expecting, The Amazing Spider-Man to be like a Transformers movie, they were sat in front of me, and they kept on texting throughout the entire movie going, I don't get it, why isn't it funny? And, well, that's kind of the audience that the Transformers movies was aiming for, which, as you can instantly tell from that, you can see why the movies are bad. Just thinking about them, it just makes me want to cringe. That's why I don't like them. They're so bad it makes me cringe. Really, again, if Hans Zimmer had gotten to them instead of Michael Bay, I think they would have been amazing. Because Hans Zimmer knows what he's doing. So, except for Man of Steel wasn't that good. It was kind of boring. But I might talk about Man of Steel. I don't know. But so yeah, those movies suck.